Hey guys, I think before we're going to go into an in-depth review of the videos we're doing here, I'm going to be showing you what, there are some talks of the next system. Nintendo has been, I'm afraid of what we're going to do in the next system here. But reason as a fans here, we're going to be giving you some guidelines and what they should do in the next system here. Like, the Switch 2 or whatever it is here. This is the data, this is right now is the data over here, that's space management here, and you can see this is a 1 terabyte micro SD card. As you can see, it's now almost filled up. It's only have about 2 gigabytes of free space. And this is a Nintendo Switch OLED, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. And I had to move a few games to free up some storage so I can be able to have some games. And yeah, 102 gigabytes, and there are some exciting games, but there's a problem. Now I'm going to have to, swap out games to try to free up some storage, and then being over here, free up some storage. And yeah, I mean, I use the Switch a lot as a portable device. I can play in the park or like this. This over here is my Nintendo 3DS. I went back to it again. The new 3DS XL. But we're going to be showing you basically what Nintendo should be doing on the Switch 2. First and foremost, Nintendo needs to add a terabyte of internal storage here. Now, the M2 solid-state drives, are those M2s. The one that this guy here has inside here is 1 terabyte. I'll probably upgrade it to a bigger storage. But Nintendo, at least a terabyte of internal storage, basic. All right. This is a terabyte, and it's almost already filled up. So at least a terabyte. Solid state drives, I mean, they're $60, $50. I found some for much less than $100, $50, $60 for a solid state drive, and they're going down in price. And as with flash storages are dropping in price. So I don't want to see the Switch 2 having a puny 32, 64 gigabyte, whatever it is, even 128. Nothing less than a terabyte, all right? 128, 256. And, my iPod and the smartphone device has 256 here, which flash storages are dropping in price. And so there's just probably just no need to, there's probably just, it's just inexcusable. It's just, the days of 64 gigabyte, 32 gigabytes of just, puny storages like this. I mean, it should be a thing of the past, all right? I shouldn't have to worry about, swapping out games to try to have the space, having a terabytes of space, when it comes to storage here. So storage is, they need to deal with this. They need to, start getting serious about storages. At least two micro SD slots, and maybe even the ability for me to upgrade the internal storages here. Internal storage. M2 SSDs, the solid state, I could call them solid state sticks here. Yes, the 8 terabyte ones are over $1,000, but they're dropping in price, to a point where it's just, no more excuses. We need at least terabytes of this space storage here. And speaking of Sony and Microsoft, their next consoles, which could be coming out in 2026 or 27 or whatever it is here, it needs at least 10 terabytes of storage to be usable. And, these days, 10 or 15 years ago, a terabyte would be a dream. Nowadays, you get a terabyte drive, 2 or 3 or 4 games, you're done. And on the consoles here. The next thing Nintendo should be doing is putting something, like when you look into your dock, allow us to store some stuff in an external drive. Like, when you're docking your system, when you dock the Switch into the dock, you can actually access the other rest of your games over on the dock, and so I can be able to play them here. And another thing that Nintendo should be doing at this point is at least 4K. Probably it should be. Probably have the option of 8K gaming here. Technology is going by leaps and bounds as of lately, and we're starting to see 8K in play here. Some people don't even see, 4K is enough. Look, 8K it's going to blow your socks off, these 8K displays here. So yeah, and the Switch 2, the ability to take it off the portable device, play it on the go, yeah, that should continue. And yeah, like archive over here, it's quick archive here, which free up space here, like this here. But yeah, that means that you're swapping out games to play on this device over here. All right, the next thing that what Nintendo do is we need virtual consoles. All right, I still have my 3DS. It's got the virtual consoles on it. I'm trying to get them over here before they shut down the eShop here. But virtual consoles need to go back. All right, people want to buy and own, legacy games, and it should not be overpriced. All right, a NES ROM should not be costing any more than $1. And maybe a few cases here of premium NES ROMs, like Dragon Quest 4 or Dragon Warrior 4, and a couple of other complicated games. Yeah, $2 or $3, but still that should be the maximum here for premium stores. Standard NES ROMs, $1 max. Super NES, $2 max. N64 games, no more than $3. GameCube games, $5. Wii games, $7 to $8. And Wii U games, $10 to $15. And maybe drop the price of of the original Nintendo Switch games to $15. Yeah, bring back Nintendo Selects, all right? Nintendo Selects are games that were popular, and hey, we're going to drop the price down to have a discount and dropping down the price here of select Nintendo Selects games here. Yes, they need to come back. Stop overpricing your games. If you price it reasonably, if you cut the price of the games here, you will go in a long way towards solving the piracy issue. Your games are too high, your prices are too high for what their value worth here. With this eye candy game, yeah, this needs to end. And price the games reasonably on the next things here. $50 is, that's, I think, game should be 40, 50 max on the next hardware here. Yeah, you have yourself the view that says, oh, these games are so valuable, we're going to keep the prices high. Yeah, but if you're a family-friendly like this, we like to see a family-friendly price tag. Like, we can have an affordable option for them to access your games. And as soon as they're classics and like this, get them to access the games. And that's what I have to see. And they need also make, and speaking of which, they also need to make game preservation seriously. It needs to be backwards compatible with the Switch Nintendo. And there is a way, Nintendo, that you can actually have one server that can do multiple generations of shops here. And that would eliminate the need of shutting down the eShops on previous consoles, like the 3DS and the Wii U. They're shutting them down here. This is where it comes into play. Invent yourself for a server they can have it up to one server here, and they can upgrade the servers and manage the servers, so you can actually keep the shops running and like this. And there's like to a point where there's just no need to shut down those shops on previous ones. So you know what? I have a solution to. Okay, we're going to have to shut down the shops because of a previous generation. But just have an upgraded server that can handle that can allow the previous gens here to access the shops, so you don't have to see. So then there will be no more need to shut down this, because good old games.com, it's like every single PC games, like that covers classic games and like this, and good old games.com, even Steam, and it's a non-issue and on PC it's a non-issue when these shops are closing. And I have to say, good old games.com, it's going to be a very long while before they close here. And it's also a non-issue on PCs, that you can archive your games, so even if the good old games.com shop closes down, you can still have the games, and that's cool about this type of stuff here. So when you buy the game, it's yours forever. You don't have to worry about losing access to your games. And Nintendo, as well as Sony and Microsoft, they should have that as an option in here. I also so also, like when it comes to accessibility here, they could also advance the technology, so you dock your system into the TV. You have 4K, 8K. You have also ability, and also you have the hard drive that can store extra games here, like that here. And also, some backwards compatible even to the DS family here. You could also, use the original Switch as a smart controller. I saw a new firmware update that can also be used as a controller towards a new generation system. And they can do that, and also that could allow for backwards compatibility for DS games, 3DS DS games here. They can do that, and that would be truly a hybrid console. That they're pretty much looking for here, and it creates this fluidity between you're in the middle of Super Mario Galaxy 4, the new Super Mario game that's coming out and here, and then you can actually take the adventure with you on a go, but at home you can actually have this great experiencing as a home console, and so they can do that. Let me see what they can, so yeah, and you can also use this, you can use it as a gamepad or whatever it is, and also you can also use a gamepad as a controller on the new Nintendo Switch as well. So yeah, that's just some of my guidance on the new Switch 2. I have to say the Switch was a success, and one more thing. Fix the Joy-Con drifts, alright? A lot of people are having issues with, I'm not touching these Joy-Cons, but the character still moves on the screen or like that. Fix the drift here. The Switch Lite is having this issue too, and even the new ones, they've been having problems. And this is kind of like the PlayStation 3's Yellow Light of Death, when Sony screwed their customers over, and screw their customers over. And the Switch is 5 years old. They're still having drift problems. Fix it, Nintendo. So this is what I have to say. I gotta say that Metroid Prime, a remaster, whatever it is that Nintendo's got here, that game should have came out 4 years ago. All right, the Nintendo Switch is 5 years old, and so that's what I have to say. This is my guidance for the next console generation, and so yep, and get the spaces seriously. 64 gigabyte system memory down to 1.1 gigabyte because I have to move some of the games over to the internal memory. And this is a 1 terabyte micro SD card. Yeah, you can see 102 gigabytes left, and it's almost full. So you could tell that this is a 1 terabyte card, and space is getting tight. But these games that are announced, Sonic. I forget what the game is. Sonic Frontiers is looking great, and but the issue is that I don't know if I can fit the Atari 50th anniversary. I kind of like know how they're remaking some of the Atari 2600 games, like Yar's Revenge. They're remaking some of those. Yeah, cool, but hopefully they can get those 1.5 terabyte micro SD cards. They should come out with that soon here, and but yeah, this is JD out, and that's my guidance for next gen consoles.